Forget about it, it's being watched. Have you been waiting on tenterhooks to finally figure out what Elias is all about? Ever since his introduction, he's been lurking in the background, taking over various crime syndicates, getting in tight with the corrupt cops at HR, popping up at the endings of episodes to reveal that he's been behind the scheme the entire time. And now he is finally making his move, as the machine has beat its previous record to give us 5 numbers, the heads of the 5 families, the official mafia presence in the city. Everybody is on the case for this, from many different angles. Box Squad, of course, heard about it from the machine, who, as far as we know, heard Elias say out loud, "I'm going to kill the heads of the 5 families today," and their names and social securities are as follows. It's very dependable. Carter hears about it when Elias's bank accounts she found a couple of episodes ago are suddenly very empty. And Fusco hears about it when HR calls him and tells him to call in sick the next couple of days. Something's happening. The only people who don't seem to realize there's an impending collapse of the mafia hierarchy is the heads themselves. We're all getting together for drinks at their private club and talking about how they have nothing to worry about. They got no problem with Elias. They think he's just going to cut them in on his new unified underworld because they're old white men who have grown complacent with their power. So when one of them is approached by John with a little warning to watch his butt, maybe John could tag along to make sure he's safe, he tells John to eat bugs, meaning we are not at all surprised when this car explodes. Well, there goes our bonus objective, but we were bound to lose a couple of them. They are being ridiculously clueless about this hostile takeover. Anyway, would you like a bunch of Elias character building scenes? It must be his birthday. Every single second of this episode is about Elias, how people feel about him, what he's up to, how he got to this point, people waiting for Elias to show up. It really feels like that episode of Buffy where Jonathan was suddenly the protagonist of reality and they added him to the credits. He's so much of the episode that I could not tell you a single name of our 5 numbers. They are so unimportant, all you need to care about is Elias. So we see him talking to his dad, giving him some summer pasta.
You'll have to eat with your hands.
And telling him about his secret plan to unite the 5 families. We get flashbacks to his childhood, where he's talking to his mom, and then later when he tries to join the mob and gets rejected, taken into the woods to get taken out so he'll stop asking, only to kill his attackers and then disappear, presumably getting a teaching certification and integrating with the Russian population so he can stage an elaborate coup that puts him in charge of Brighton Beach. Frankly, I'm not that sympathetic. This guy has taken his entire life trying to get into organized crime and devoted decades of his time to upending and taking over all the current crime empires, and it's not that cool of a goal. We don't need a CEO of crime. It's just going to make crime a worse place to work. Merging all these crime groups together will lead to a lot of redundancies, so there will have to be layoffs, and then we'd have less crime jobs, and all those unemployed Goombas might turn to crime. Wait. Anyway, it's a dumb goal and I don't respect it. Neither do our protagonists, who are working overtime and off the record to keep our remaining 4 dipshits alive, even if they don't want the help, and Elias asked John specifically to just leave this one alone. What does he care? These are mob bosses. These are all reprehensible douchebags who have caused so much harm and don't deserve the power they possess. Maybe sit this one out. But they won't, and neither will Carter, who has convinced one of the Dons to enter police protection. HR has pulled their strings though. They are in tight with Elias and have blessed these murders. No cop will touch it, unless they are a main character. So when Carter goes to pick him up, her entourage vanishes and a single assassin kills the target. It's alright, we can still pull this off. John's here with an assist, murderer. One more tick for John.
You really should return your calls, Detective.
Carter and the boys have a chat about what's happening. It's pretty fucked. Elias has most of the bad guys in the city under his control, and there's a weird feel to this. Elias's goons are not moving in the way they expect, and they'd really like someone to babysit our idiot mob bosses. I know you're mad at us, but could you please? John will lend you his cool shotgun. We promise we'll take care of everything else, just hold them down, keep them safe. She agrees and gets kitted up. It's the cop who's on her own time.
The cop who's on her own.
And she calls the only cop she can trust right now, Lionel Fusco. This is some dramatic irony, because the audience knows there are several reasons why she can't trust Fusco. Some of them she's aware of. But no one has given him a direct order, so Fusco just goes along with it. He's all in. Carter and Fusco, the dream team. They may not know exactly who the other one is working with, and they definitely haven't figured out it's the same reclusive billionaire and his very sardonic superhero spy, but damn it, they've got each other's backs. They go to the mob boss breakfast nook, where the 3 remaining morons are just sitting around waiting to get murdered, the dopes, and kidnap them, telling them to get in the van, we're going to an unfinished studio apartment and we're going to lock ourselves in there and wait. It's actually not super interesting. We get a lot of business with this one mob boss who is just being a little salty for no clear reason, but just know, Carter and Fusco are chilling. Fox Squad is doing some recon, trying to figure out what the Elias team is even doing, and they discovered that they are following around the families of the HR brass, at least Mr. Baldo here. Look at this creep's beautiful family. Elias learned a lesson from that time he tried to flash freeze a baby, and he's using the threat of child murder to get people to do what he wants, keeping his folks in place to snatch the children of whoever they want to threaten, like, say, Detective Carter, as Scarface has gotten to Taylor, Carter's son. They try to save Taylor, but Scarface is willing to machine gun a security guard in broad daylight, and John isn't able to get to the car in time. Another tick for John. He calls Carter and promises he's going to fix this. Please don't get discouraged and give up. I got this. I'm a superhero. She tries, but boy, it's rough, especially as a small army of Elias gang members and HR cops gather outside. Finch has an idea to stall for time while they find Elias's winery. He takes a meeting with the evil policeman who represents HR this week and informs about the criminals watching his family and how this proves that Elias can't be trusted and HR should end its relationship with Elias.
Look, I recognize, officer, that I'm placing myself in danger by sitting here with you. I need you to understand that you're placing your family in danger by doing business with Elias.
It's very tense and this somehow works. I frankly do not understand how HR operates. Maybe if John would give Fusco some specific instructions, we'd understand more of their structure. It's the final moments and things are getting super dramatic. Elias personally comes to the studio apartment and demands to be let in, while one of the mob bosses who was shit-talking Fusco earlier, because he recognized him, pulls a gun on our cops. He was a double agent, and he's trying to turn Fusco because he knows about the bad cop code. He knows Fusco is a bad cop, and his loyalty is for sale. John, meanwhile, is doing a raid of the winery. Now that Elias isn't there, they only left 3 guys to watch over the hostages, and John only kills one of them. The action scene is pretty cool, the song has a great rhythm, although the knowledge that Taylor is just standing there very quietly cheering John on while he beats the crap out of this guy lessens the drama a little. John saves Taylor and Moretti just in time, as Elias has broken through the door and is ready to kill him some mob bosses. Unfortunately, Carter and Fusco are still standing strong, the bad mob boss dead on the ground. He just sees this as one more setback, until the sound of sirens reveals that Fusco has called for backup. There are still some good cops, and Elias, now without any leverage and surrounded by unpurchased police, surrenders. Elias has been stopped. He's going to jail. The crisis is over. Please ignore that 3 of the 5 numbers did not survive. We still got enough to clear the mission. Who could have foreseen that last traitor mob boss? Taylor is safe and Carter is grateful. I guess we aren't fighting anymore. We watch Elias get processed. His impression disappointed but not crestfallen. Like, he's not thrilled to be in jail, but it's not slowing him down. He's still got people on the inside handing him cell phones so he can have one last conversation with his father before exploding his car. So yeah, looks like we defeated Elias. That was easier than I thought it was going to be, really. Really painted himself in the corner at the end there. He didn't have to personally go kill the remaining mob bosses. He could have been anywhere else. Next episode, John has to get a part-time job as an armored truck driver, and Fusco, despite directly opposing HR here and putting himself firmly on Team Good Cop, is helping Captain Not Jerry collect some dole. Guess HR just doesn't care he was central to taking down Elias, since they also didn't like Elias at the end. A little confusing. Guess it's fine. You are being watched.
You are being watched.